So the writers of Barbie just got married. You know, the movie about Barbie, it was really about Ken. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't trust this dude. I don't. And I'm not the only one. Let me tell you why I don't trust this dude. Because what he did to his ex-wife, I will never forget. I'm not convinced he's a changed man and won't do the same thing to her somehow. Although she's 14 years younger, so maybe he won't, but still. Before anybody comes at me, I enjoyed Barbie. I have lots of valid criticisms of Barbie, and I've covered that in other videos. My main criticism is that this dude was a Ken cell. He's a terrible person. I thought he was going to be, you know, a side character supporting Barbie. This dude is like the main character. This whole story arc is more about him than Barbie. And Ryan Gosling just came out with a whole new rendition of I'm Just Ken, and he got nominated for an Oscar for that song. And I don't know, women had their own little, like, I couldn't figure out why men had such a big role in this movie that was sold to women as a movie about Barbie. And then I found out that he was the co-writer. Makes sense. Okay, but this is not about Barbie. This is about this guy and why I don't really trust him. I do also, by the way, believe that people can change. They can learn their lessons. They can grow. I'm one of them. I have done lots of mistakes. I am a work in project just like everybody else. But I also know patterns. And patterns are hard to break out of unless you really try hard. And this guy doesn't have a good pattern. Honestly, I need to do more research because there's so many things I can't find proof of, but are like, seem to be true. So if you want a video on him, it's going to take me some time. But these are the things I do know. So him and Greta have been together for 12 years. Maybe if that was maybe her choice. I do believe a woman with power and money may not want to be financially tied to somebody, especially someone who had such a bad first marriage. By that, I mean, he cheated and left his pregnant wife for her. Like, if I were her, I wouldn't really trust him to be the marrying type since he clearly can't do it very well. Long engagements, I think, are okay, but only if it's actually the woman's idea. I'm not and this is in the United States. People are always like, why are you so obsessed with Mimi? Because we have no protection. Unless you have a lot of money, marriage offers you health insurance and a lot of protection if you get that prenup and all kinds of, stuff like that. Whereas a lot of women are just doing all this free labor, have no protection, never get married, drag it on for 12 years, and then he's cheating the whole time and then marries some other woman, and these women are left with nothing, and they have invested financially nothing because these men are parasites. As much as I criticize marriage and think marriage is a scam in general, it does offer some protection if it's done right. And men who are resisting marriage usually got some reason for it. So it may have been her idea. She's got money, she's successful. But this is the tweet that reminded me of how much this dude sucks. This is one of my favorite accounts to follow, and if you're always looking for accurate information, it's hard to find. Now that Twitter has ruined the verification thing because people can buy it. So this is where I get a lot of my information a lot of times. Meech. But I love this. Sorry, but I will never get over him leaving his pregnant wife, the Jennifer Jason Leigh, to be with Greta Gerwig and then writing a movie about it. The audacity of a man. For anyone who doesn't know who Jennifer Jason Leigh is, any Gen Xers, maybe elder millennials or millennials know her. She was like the indie queen. She was in everything for a while. She was an actress. He was like an up-and-coming director. This woman, I believe, was more powerful than him. She was a household name at the height of her career. And, this is alleged. Allegedly, Greta and Noah had an affair while Jennifer Jason Leigh was pregnant with Noah's child. So I believe they started dating in 2001 when he was 32 and Jennifer Jason Leigh was 39. So then they worked on this movie together. They were collaborating a lot, but one could argue that he actually just likes to have a muse. Right? As it says here. So 2010, he directs Greenberg. Now look at this description. This description's in The Guardian, by the way. It's about a depressed carpenter, played by Ben Stiller, who begins a relationship with a younger woman, played by Greta Gerwig. And then Noah's wife, Jennifer Jason Leigh, has a small but significant role as Stiller's ex, the woman who gets cheated on. And then she also co-wrote this with him. So Greta was 26 Jennifer Jason Leigh was 48. And Noah does a movie about a man cheating with a younger woman. And the younger woman is literally Greta in the movie, cheating on his literal wife in the movie. Like, dude, can you, like, remove yourself from this? These men have so much audacity. Now, some people think, myself included, that this is where their affair started. But either way, they get divorced not too long after this movie is released. And their son is born. And that's when Gerwig becomes his new partner and muse and collaborator. So April 2013, Noah directs and co-writes Frances Ha. So they're writing this movie together, Frances Ha. The film is about a free-spirited, quirky 27-year-old woman in New York City. And, all the interviews that they've done, they've always, kind of evaded the question. Pretty much denied there was ever an affair and that they just started dating right after the divorce, right? That could be true. They may have waited until after the divorce to actually let it turn into something more than just a friendship with a strong connection. I worked in the film industry, y'all. I know what it's like on set. Just literally be immersed in that culture. I can see how affairs could happen. But when your wife is pregnant and you're using this is just next level. Like, what the fork, dude? This is the part that is just like, dude. So when he's 50, he directs Marriage Story. This thing. And as much as I would love to do a video on this movie, I just don't know if I can sit through this again. This was like a really triggering movie. Because this dude thinks that he's such a king baby. But he's an artist king baby. And have someone in this industry for a while, I'm like, I know you. And the way that he hates his wife. This movie is about his divorce from Jennifer Jason Leigh. No, so, he keeps saying, no, it's not really. It's just some of it. But I'm not buying it, especially based on some of his interviews. Can you imagine your husband looking at you like that? I had a hard time looking at Adam Driver after that because he was so good in this role of... He was good, but also kind of overacting because I'm like, you really hate this lady. He's all punching walls. This was like a meme for a while. In an interview, Noah was like, it's not really about our marriage. I have no concerns about it. And he's like, Jennifer loves it. But then it's like some of the cast members found it very difficult to explore this man's emotions around divorce. Adam Driver admitted that he dreaded every scene in this movie because it was just intense. I've read other interviews with him. And again, y'all, when I talk about these people, I'm not saying they're a bad person, cancel them. I love the idea of a power couple. Two talented directors coming together, collaborating, making amazing things. Him and Greta are making very successful stuff. But I'll never forget that you left your pregnant wife and used her as a muse. And in my opinion, who humiliated her with that stupid movie about your divorce. His dad was married 4 times and got divorced when he was a teenager. And, that's not his fault, but I sure hope he went to therapy and dealt with that stuff. And then the way he talks about directing, I'm like, A lot of filmmakers are nice, he says, but it can be tough. Directing is lonely. Mike Nichols said a director always needs a buddy, and that's wise, to have a producing partner or a writer. These days, however, he has Gerwig, with whom he wrote these films. By the way, don't let me forget I owe y'all a Christopher Nolan video. Because Christopher Nolan, the only reason any of those movies do so well and he's able to do what he does is because his wife is the producer and the mastermind behind all of it. I guess it's good that he's married to a director now, but this is what he said. How Greta understands the life of a director because she's a director. You come home at 3 a.m. and you climb into bed and this other person's half asleep, you feel wrecked and lonely. You don't even know if you got the best footage. The thing you want more than anything is for someone to just take care of you because you're shooting a movie is so much. Okay, bro, but are you doing that for Greta? Because I'm kind of feel like you might not. Because given how he wrote Marriage Story, trying to show both sides of a divorce of an entitled king baby who had an affair, we're supposed to come out of Marriage Story rooting for the dude. You guys make it sound like, really? It's more like we're supposed to sympathize with her. And, he stands by the notion that his film examines both sides equally. That's the problem. The dude cheated with a younger woman and has all the entitlement and selfishness of patriarchal conditioning. I'm sorry, but the man who cheats with a younger woman and leaves her should not get equal weight in a divorce story, especially not under patriarchy. Greta, watch out, girl!